do this. All right, so I get a lot of people asking me about FF14. I have tried it on 2 separate occasions, and I quit when I beat Heavensward because I did not enjoy Heavensward. I can't even say the name because I want to say Heavensward, but it's Heavensward. And people are like, how could you not like it? It's really, really good. Like, some people told me it's the peak of the story. Or at least, like, it's the thing that made them truly, like, interested in the game and the story. And I was like, well, it's gotta be good, right? No. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. And I'm gonna go through why. But before we get to Heavensward, I have to start with a quick, like, here's how Swamos did A Realm Reborn. So, A Realm Reborn. It sucked. It was point blank. The thing I'll always remember about starting FF14 is I was level 8, and I hadn't fought a single monster yet. I had leveled up 7 times in FF14, and I hadn't fought a monster yet. I got so tired of it. I was like, well, what's combat like? I ran out of the first town to find a monster to fight it. And I was a Dragoon, so it sucked. But you know what? We're not going to get into that. Early levels of Dragoon, you have 1 attack skill. You press the 1 key a bunch. But you know what? That was my choice. I like Dragoons. So that's not the game's fault. Yes, it is. But yeah, so I dragged myself through Realm Reborn. There were literally times May came in, and I'd be mid-cutscene in a Realm Reborn, and I would be asleep in my chair. Because the quests were just so boring. They were so long. There were so many quests where you went from one NPC to talk to another, to talk to another, to talk to another. The only thing I liked about A Realm Reborn was the gathering and crafting. That's all I liked. For some reason, that system hit me hard and gave me crack, all right? There were so many nights I would spend falling asleep just chopping trees. I would chop and I would chop and I would chop. No, fuck Minfala! I don't like Minfala. I'm glad she's dead. Oh, yes. Yes. It was so boring. And the first time, I beat Realm Reborn, right? I don't even remember anything from A Realm Reborn. I remember the final dungeon because I did it so many times as part of grinding, but literally, I don't remember it. And when I finally beat Realm Reborn and I saw the credits, I was excited. I was like, all right, we're finally starting Heavensward. We're getting into it. I can't wait. And what do you mean there's more? No one told me there was post A Realm Reborn content. So you just imagine being excited. Finally, it's gonna get good. Nah, you got like 5 more patches of content to stick through again. Oh my god. But I stuck through it. I pushed through it because everyone's telling me it's good. I tried. I got through the Crystal Tower raids. Everyone said, all right, listen, this is some of the best content in the entire game is for the Crystal Tower raids. All right, I got to them. I'm going to get good. I'm going to have fun. And I hated those raids. I didn't know what was going on. I felt like I was just running after people and attacking. I died every instant kill because none of them are explained what the instant kills do, except one. Except one. I didn't die to the Behemoth Meteor because Monster Hunter World taught me about it. Monster Hunter World taught me more FF14 mechanics than FF14. Ah! Oh, okay. Okay. And I actually quit the game at that point. I finished all 3 of the Crystal Tower raids, and I quit. Because I was like, if this is the best the game has, whatever. I quit for 1.5 years. I didn't touch the game. I let my sub run out, and I just didn't touch it. Then when the new expansion, Dawn Trail, yeah, that's it, came out, everyone got back into it, and I got pressured. So I said, all right, I'll give it another shot. I got back in, and I pushed through the rest of Realm Reborn. I didn't like anything in Realm Reborn except the last 2 quests where you get betrayed and everyone's mad at you and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm kind of interested in that. And that's important because that's going to come up later. Are you ready? All right. So I do that. We get betrayed. And finally, the title card for Heavensward plays, and I'm excited. I'm really good to go into this, all right? I'm really good. But I want to make one thing clear. Because it took me like 2 years to be a Realm Reborn, I didn't care about anything in a Realm Reborn. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the story. I couldn't tell you what the story was because I was so bored. I was so bored. Oh. And that's all going to come back. So we start with Heavensward. We get in there, and what's the first thing we do? We go NPC talking to NPC talking. You know, the same thing that a Realm Reborn did. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. But you know what? I'm okay with it. Because, you know, you go to you go to the noble's house, you meet his sons, you go off and you do some side quests with them that don't really matter. But you know what? That's world building. You just got to a whole new area. You got to learn what the culture's like, what the world is like there. Fine, fine. Boring starting a JRPG, I get it. You meet Iceheart there for the first time. It's like, oh, she's going to be part of it. But I'll get to him, Rosie. I'll get to him. But you start off the exact same way as a Realm Reborn, and I'm like, oh no, it's happening again. It's happening again. At least you get to kill things. At least you get to kill things. But you know what? Fine, you do that. You did that. How many pages? It's 9,000 characters. I'm at the start of Heavensward, where I'm still going. All right, you know, yeah. So the beginning's boring. And then probably the part that I hate the most out of this game. You go back to rescue the general guy who I kind of liked from A Realm Reborn. He's missing an arm. I was like, shit, okay, cool. Cool. You rescue him, the Zodiac Braves, which was a big point of them betraying you. You beat him in like a nothing fight. Sippy break? All right. But I thought it was cool that they took his arm away. I like that. Remember, this is the only thing I like about Realm Reborn was the ending. Yeah, Raban, that's his name. I'm going to be... Okay, so if I forget someone's name, it's not because I don't care about them. It's because I'm bad with names. I can never remember anyone's name. Okay, so you go and you rescue him, and that's cool, right? And I'm so happy. And I was like, okay, fine. We're finally going to continue the rebellion plot, right? Then one of the little Lalafels who betrayed you comes up and is like, hey, so you remember how, like, the Lalafell princess died? When she was going to make a democracy, and it's going to rebel, and all this fun stuff? Yeah, we decided that's not going to happen. We decided she wasn't poisoned and killed. She just fell asleep. She's actually fine. She's perfectly fine. We're going to go wake her up later, and then she's not going to do the democracy thing. She's going to keep it the dictatorship it was. They took the one thing I liked in A Realm Reborn I was interested in, and pretty much retconned it. And we're like, yeah, no. I was actually physically upset. Yeah, he lost his arm for nothing. All that big plot point, you getting betrayed and having to run away, and the princess dying and everything, and none of it was mattering. They went back and retconned it. They did kill that one Lalafell, which is nice, but it was the only thing I cared about in Realm Reborn. Like, I was like, all right, I'm interested in seeing how this goes. I like political storylines. The whole idea, she wanted to be democracy, but then died, and then all this other stuff. Nope. No, none of it happens. I was just so frustrated. Ugh. So, okay, A Realm Reborn is just absolute shit. Now there's nothing redeeming, nothing I'm interested in. Let's set it on fire. Let's just throw it off the wall. Okay. So we get back. We go back to Heavensward, okay? And this is where every single problem I have with Heavensward rears its ugly head. You go on what is the longest walk in the history of any JRPG with Iceheart and my bro Estinian. It is the longest walk where you have to walk to certain points. You gotta kill 2 monsters. And then you gotta keep walking. And it's so long. And it has so much filler. You go to this town in the wood area. and you stop there. And you have to go pick up logs and talk to people and I think kill like 2 monsters over here and then come back. And then what do? You keep walking. And during this walk, you keep having to stop to have the same conversation. Where Ysayle/Iceheart, whatever I'm going to call her, goes and says, oh my god, don't do this to me, Bangu. Don't tell me it's more. My problem is you have this conversation with Ysayle, Iceheart, and Estidian, where she's like, guys, we gotta do peace talks with the dragons, okay? And then Estidian's like, all right, but when that fails, I have this massive dragon-killing boner, and just points to it, and it's like, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna do it. And most people probably hated that, right? Because it's the same conversation. I actually really liked it, because I was a dragoon. And I also wanted to kill dragons because I'm a dragoon. So I was like, hell yeah, Estidian. And we high-fived. And then we walked with our dragon-killing boners together. And it was great. I liked that. Except that it happened 8 freaking times. And it's the same conversation. Ugh. If I wasn't a dragoon, there would be nothing redeeming there. But he and I having giant dragon-killing boners. And I'm sorry, Jazz and Rosie. I'm a dragoon. It's what we do. We are built to kill dragons. Okay? We kill the evil dragons, but mostly. Ugh. Don't tell CL. All right. I won't. Okay, where was I? I actually got distracted talking about boners. Okay, here we go. Okay, so after that, you go to this wood area. You pick up logs for them. You kill monsters for them. I think you do a delivery for them. All right? And I'm like, all right, surely this will matter later, right? Like, we're going to come back and talk to them or something. No. You leave and you go on another walk where you have to stop, where you have to follow a specific path because you have to stop in these circles and poke 2 monsters with your spear and then move on. And it's a really long walk. I think you do that 4 goddamn times and then you get to the dragon. And I'm like, all right, this is it. We're talking to a dragon, where the plot's going to advance. We're going to move forward. And what do you mean we can't go forward? What? There's bug people summoning a primal? You're a dragon. Why do I can't? No. Oh, I have to go deal with that. Okay, sure. I guess I'll go do that. So then you have to go deal with the bug people. And when you get to them, guess what they have you do? Do you go right to fighting the primals? No, you got to do bullshit quests for them. You got to go and you got to pick up sticks for them. And then you got to go to this one area and kill like 4 monsters. And there's a third quest, I don't even remember, but it's probably talking to NPCs. And then you do that and it's like, all right, go fight the primal now. And I'm like, all right. And it's like a 6-armed sword primal. And I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. And then I don't remember anything about the fight. I did it with Pauser and chat. I couldn't tell you what happened during it, but I killed it. It was a cool design. I'm happy you clipped it, but I could not tell you anything about that fight. And does it ultimately matter? Not really. I did it, yay. So I go back to the dragon. I'm like, all right, listen. I've had to pick up sticks. I had to fight guys. I had to do all this bullshit. I'm back, dragon. Let's do this plot. And we go into the next area. We're going to talk to Nidhogg, or not Nidhogg, his brother, whatever. And what's the first thing we do after we just did all that bullshit? Moogles. You get to an area and you stop and you have to do bullshit for Moogles. So after doing bullshit for the forest people and then doing more bullshit for the bug people, you have to stop and do the Moogles. You have to go all the way back to the forest area. You gotta go get them and go all the way back to Heavensward from the forest area into Realm Reborn. I don't even remember what it's called at this point. And then the Moogles will talk to you. And it's like, all right, fine. I met the Moogles. That's great. I can go, right? No. Because now they want you to do a quest. One of those quests is picking up rocks. You go to 3 areas, you pick up a rock, and you bring it back to the Moogles. Oh my god. I think one of the others is go kill something. I don't even remember the third one. Again, because they don't matter. None of this is plot relevant. And you might think, Swamos, you're talking a lot about this filler content. Let me explain something to you. This was like 2 weeks of my free time. I only have like 2 to 3 hours. Stop it, Nova. I only have 2 to 3 hours at night to play a video game. Up till this point, that took me 2 weeks. From the time I started to walk till I beat the Moogle part. The Moogles were one entire night of gaming. That was my entire free time for the night. You gotta run. Oh, I'm sorry, Rosie. This will be uploaded separately. Oh my god. There is so much padding. So much filler. And I knew it was a problem when I was looking for the summary of Heavensward so I could read what happened and refresh myself. This entire section I just talked about was 2 sentences. 2 sentences in the fucking summary. This was 2 weeks of my life. Okay, fine. But I do it. I do the Moogle part, all right? I was happy to do it because I got a whole new area to chop rocks and farm trees and gather stuff. That was fine. New area. At least I can do that. Okay. Fine, let's continue the plot. What do we do now? You walk. And you walk and you stop at certain points and you attack. The same thing we've been doing for 2 weeks. Take a sip. Oh my god. And finally, after you do that again, is you attack all these guys. Stop spoiling the story or whatever in the future. After you do the more walking and the more attacking and the more bullshit, you finally get to the dragon. It has been 2 weeks of my life. I go and I talk to him. We try the negotiation, but we all knew it wasn't going to work. We all knew it was going to fail because Estinian has this massive dragon-killing boner. And so do I. So when the negotiation fails, we're going to go fight him. We're going to go fight Nidhogg. And you know what? Oh yeah, this has spoilers, by the way, for the plot. I think you guys already figured that out. I'll put it at the beginning of the video when I do this. But fine, we're doing it. We're going to go fight Nidhogg, and I kind of like it. I like this fight. The dungeon and the fight are pretty good. I like that he has to use Nidhogg's own eye against him to kill him. It's great. It's great. It was not worth it. It was not worth 2 weeks to get to there. We also get some plot dumps there about like, oh, the dragons aren't actually evil, everyone. Like, they're not actually evil. It's actually they were good, and they got forced out by evil people. And, you know, well, this isn't a full plot summary. That's fine. Like, the plot is okay at this point. And I'm happy. And I'm like, okay, that was fun. I'm busy, Xlips. But, oh my god. This is a game about killing things that me kill dragons. Yes, and we finally got to Dudius Rex. We finally got to kill the dragon. It was a great fight. We beat Nidhogg. But you might have noticed, how much did I have to just talk through to get from, okay, we're going on a walk, to we're going on a walk to meet the dragon, to the dragon. This is Heavensward's problem. The actual story is good, and there's so much padding and filler bullshit in it. And every time I started getting invested in the story, yeah, enjoy your burger, Ricky. Every time I started getting invested in the story, I have to stop and do a bunch of other shit. But okay, fine. Now we go back to town. Shit's bad. There's people fighting. There's rebels in the town. All that stuff, you know. We meet some people that are like in the lower decks, which she isn't super important, but we meet like a gunbreaker lady. That's neat. You're cool, I guess. And then we go do the dungeon called The Vault. This is the problem that has made, this is the dungeon that made friends yell at me for my response. The vault is a very mediocre dungeon. It is a straight line, narrow hallways. You kill a bunch of guys, you get to the end, and the old man, the evil Pope, escapes. You know, you don't get him. You know, and nothing really interesting happens in the vault, you know? Yeah, nothing. All right, let's talk about it. I said at the beginning, I don't care about A Realm Reborn. I don't care about the characters in it. And I didn't care about Haunch Font, whatever his fucking name was. I'm sorry. He literally is not involved in the story other than like... Stop it. Stop it. He is really not involved in the story in Heavensward. He helps take you inside Heavensward, and that's about it. Other than being there and being like, good job, bro, like a generic guy, I didn't care about him. He has this emotional death scene, and I'm just like, I don't care. Who are you? Are you Pretty Nightman? You know, are you the cat? Like, it felt like to me, and I've seen this, they do this a lot in games. They're like, all right, what is a character that's no longer plot relevant so we can kill them off? You were also, thank you, Soft. Exactly. I didn't even remember who he was. It was sad he was dying, and I'm like, okay, I've killed like 40 men on my way here. I'm sure some of them had friends and family. And yes, Azel, I know a lot of. Good job. Thank you. My friends yelled at me because they helped me get through that scene. And I was sitting there and I was like, all right, guys, I got to go after the cutscene. They're like, wait, what? You didn't react to anything. And I was like, well, nothing that big happened. I didn't care about him. The only thing I can recall is he seemed like he was nice to us, which I'm like, you got to be more than a good guy to have a character thing. But you know, I don't know. If they had killed like Astinian or what's the Knight Captain's guy? I haven't mentioned him, but he was kind of cool. Asymeric, Matrix, that the Pretty Knight guy. You know who I'm talking about. He's like Captain of the Knight's Guard or whatever. That guy. If they had killed off one of them, I probably would have been more emotionally invested. Americ, that's it. Thank you. I liked him. If they had killed him off, I would have cared. No, they killed him off. So I'm sorry. I don't really care about him. And that's probably the biggest thing. A lot of people hate me for that. But I just didn't care. You know what actually upset me more? What actually made me feel something is the quest right after that. Where you have to go tell his dad that a horror font dead guy is dead. And he cries and you can hear the anger in his voice. And he's like, do not talk to me right now. And stuff. And I'm like, oh, God. Oh, I felt his anger. I may not have cared about Hogfont, but like his reaction was so visceral and stuff. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. I care more about you than I did your son. I mean, I'm going to leave now. Hogfont. Thank you. Yeah. Whatever. Hogfont. Yes. That guy. I care about him so little. I'm not going to do that. The VA for whoever does the dad nailed that segment. Like, that one thing where I was like, oh, I can feel it, you know? And here's my problem. Because I didn't care about Hogfont and Hogfarter, whatever, they constantly bring up his death the rest of the story. And because I didn't care, every time they bring him up, I'm just like, oh, whatever. It just, you know. But hey, you know what? Fine. I Swamos don't care, but my character cares. So you know what? All right, fine. I'm going to commit. Let's go do the plot. We're chasing after Evil Pope, who is the reason he's dead. We're chasing after him. This is going to be a big emotional moment. We're chasing him, and we stop. Guess what we need? We need to stop and put in more filler. Yay! For the record, Sif, I could have taken that shot. That would not have killed me, all right? I had my dragon skill. No, I was Gunbreaker. I have my skill that Drops me down to 1 HP and I can't die. That would not have killed me. Oh. No, 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 no. There is filler. You go to the bird people again, and you have to fight the space whale. It felt like, listen, I know there's a reason for it because you can't get through the barrier. I know. But at this point, like, this is supposed to be the emotional climax. This is supposed to be when we go fight the big bad, you know? No, we're going to go fight Space Whale. I liked the fight. I actually think it was really fun. The thing I'll always remember about it is at the end, while everyone's running to leave, I walked off the edge and died. And then I respawned and there was no one in the dungeon except my dead body. And I thought that was really funny. That was kind of funny. Look, if Sid said, listen, I'm not even saying, like, it's plot related. Yeah, or plot related. I get it. Fine. You're trying to set me up to care. And we're about to go and we're about to fight him and no. And yeah, I know he technically comes back for the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game, we see the space whale and we don't deal with him. And that would have been a complaint I actually had, except he comes back later. So fine. I just feel like you don't do it right after the death scene. Maybe you do it beforehand. I don't know. But it's such just a take all these emotions and no. You wait. All right. But fine, we beat Space Whale. We have conquered Space Whale. Now we're finally going to go fight him. And we get a cutscene where Iceheart finally shows back up. And I'm like, okay. I was wondering where she went. She's in the middle of this redemption arc from when she decided to be Shiva's host and then tried to negotiate with dragons and that failed. What's she going to do? And she's dead. This death upset me. I guess I cared about this death. I felt like she was in the middle of a redemption arc. And they just cut it short. And yeah, I get the whole, oh, they died to help you, and therefore that's their redemption. I'm like, no, she's not there yet. She hadn't got to that point yet. The most she had done was walk with you to talk to a dragon. And listen, I'm fine with the whole you die to redeem yourself. This just isn't, I didn't think she was there yet. She hadn't fully completed her redemption arc to do it. You know? Redemption by death, blah. I guess. I was just curious because I kind of liked that they were going with the redemption arc. I was like, all right, she was an enemy, but she's trying to do right. She failed with the dragons. You know, she'll show back up later probably and help us fight and stuff. And, you know, maybe at the very end she died. No, she dies here. No Darth Vader. Yeah. But fine. She's dead. Yeah, redemption requires more time and actions than a death and one good deed. Exactly. I think there was more she could have done before the death to do it. But again, you know, maybe she helps us fight the space whale. Oh yeah, these people stay dead, Grim. But fine. We get to the space continent inside there. It's a very confusing, annoying area, but you know what? Whatever. It's all working toward finally fighting Space Pope, the evil Space Pope. And you do it, and it's a weird fight where you have to... Yeah, they're dead. They haven't come back, Grim. And you fight him, and it's... I didn't really like the fight. It was... Here, I'll say this. In a world of Phoenix Downs, yes, they stay dead. Admittingly, after the explosion, she falls, like, off the world into, like, the cloud sea below. You ain't getting to her body with no Phoenix Down, you know? So fine, she can stay dead, because she probably fell 60 million feet and is just a puddle. And there ain't no Phoenix Down here healing a puddle. Yeah, but Hogsward, yeah, he would have been fine. Anyways, we fight the Space Pope and you beat him, and that's the end of Heavensward. It's fine. Like, that final fight is fine. I don't remember too much of it. I think there's a gimmick with, like, 2 guys at once. Yeah, it was a fine fight. I've only done it, like, twice, I think. Once on a random thing. And you know what? We beat him, and then my good buddy Instinian shows up, and he's still covered in blood. And I'm like, why have you not bathed in like 3 weeks? And he's like, don't worry about it. And then he gets taken over by Nidhogg. And I'm like, oh, no, not my dragon killing boner, bro. Now he's a dragon. And that was an emotional moment for me because he was my bro. And he flies away, and I'm like, all right, I'm reinvested in the story. The story, it's gonna be us trying to save him, you know? And I get it, and I'm happy, and I'm ready to do it, and the credits hit, and I'm like, all right, I would be really upset if I didn't already have post-Heavenward content, but I have that. So I'm gonna go do it right now. And I did it. And I'm ready to go save him because he is my dragon killing boner bro. And we don't. Nope. No. You get like one sentence from, I think, Night Watchman, who's like, we don't know where he is. There's nothing we can do. Let's go do this other thing. And I have never felt more like a bystander in FF14, which is a game where you are supposed to be like the hero of light and, you know, saving everyone, than I have in these cutscenes. At one point, you escort Captain of the Night Watch's second in command lady. You escort her to talk to the first dragon to see if they can talk to each other and negotiate. And I'm just in the background in the cutscene while they talk, and they're like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And I'm like, why am I here? You're a captain of the Knight's Guard. You can fight. You have other knights. Go with them. Why am I escorting you so you two can have a conversation? I don't feel like I was important. And then they're going to do this big negotiation where the dragons are coming in to make peace. And all right, they want me there for some reason. And I'm like, all right, I guess I can stand there. I'm not part of this negotiation. All right, I guess. And then I get drugged. So I can't even be part of it. And the whole time I'm like, what about Estinian? Why am I not out searching for him? I'm not arguing that I couldn't, like, okay, fine. Maybe I could, what's the word? Maybe I couldn't do anything. They need to give me a quest where I tried to do something for Estinian and fail. Like, I go out to search for him in where Nidhogg used to be, and I search a bunch of areas, and I don't find anything. Let me try to help and fail before I go do other things. Don't just tell me there's nothing you can do. Let me do it. You can hear the dry? All right. I'm getting upset, too, so. Oh, my God. Okay, there we go. All right, what was I saying? Yeah. Never tell the player there's nothing they can do. Show the player there's nothing they can do. Let them try and fail. They did not do that. So it upset me the whole time where I started not caring about the story because I was like, what about my bro? He's out there being the thing he hates. Oh my God. But fine, we go to do the... And I understand, Nova, we knew the truth and help exposed it. The conversation, I'm not involved in it. I don't need to be there. In fact, in the cutscene, you're not even in the background while the night captain guy's second in command lady, again, I'm not good with names, while she's talking to the dragon, you're not even in the background of the shot. You're just not even in the shot. There's no reason you need to be there. They could have shown us a flashback. Visual medium, show, don't tell. Exactly. Illusion of choice, pretty much. This one, they don't even give you the illusion of choice. It's like, they just tell you, no, you can't do that. You can't do anything, so fuck off and do this other thing. But hey, we get drugged. We can't participate in the dragon negotiation. You come outside, and what happens? There he is. There's my boy, Estinian, killing a dragon. Well, it's Nidhogg now, but he's also Estinian. And I was so excited to get back into it. I was ready to go, and it's like 2 quests. Well, one of them is a very epic fight against Nidhogg, and I really was hyped for that, and I really enjoyed that fight because everything does build up to you fighting Nidhogg, and it finally happens. But once again, How long did it take me to get here? There's so much padding, so much stop and start in the story. But you know what? Let me finish the story. I kill Nidhogg. I save my bro Estinian. He gets to leave. He's no longer the Azure Dragoon, which I cried a little. Not really cried, but I was like, no, he's not my dragon killing boater bro anymore. Oh. You feel like in a book, the characters still try and fail to show they can't do the thing. Yeah, exactly, Grim. And like after you kill him, the night guy becomes the new Azure Dragoon and Astidian walks away. And I was like, that's nice. I was glad I was able to rescue my dragon bro. And that was the last quest I did. I did some side content I can talk about in a minute, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I felt like the best description I've heard of Heavensward is what a random Reddit comment is that Heavensward is a good story told extremely poorly. If you cut out all of the filler, the 2 weeks of collecting like wood and rocks and fighting random primals and stabbing people and all that stuff, then hi Bat Boy, then I think like it would be good. But there's so much padding in there. The most fun I had in Realm Reborn was the crafting. I'm a level 90 crafter in multiple skills. I'm a level 90 gatherer. The cap in Heavensward, I think, was 70 or 60. I got the credits, though, Nova. I got the credits again. Are you telling me there's still more Heavensward? Oh, my fucking God. I was just done because that felt like the natural end. Like, yeah, it's too much padding. Maybe when I was younger, I wouldn't have cared about the padding. I'm an adult. I would play it after stream. I'd have 2 and 3 hours. And if an entire night I play the game, it's filler, I'm bored. Like, if I was a kid and I could put 8 hours into a game a day, I probably wouldn't care about the filler. As an adult, the filler starts getting to me a lot. And the problem is they constantly put the padding, they constantly put the filler in at the worst times. Anytime I got invested in the story, they put filler in. Hi, Rosie. Welcome back. Oh, my God. And apparently I just found out I'm not done with Heavensward. I got the second credits, and apparently there's more. Whatever. I ended at a good spot for me. That was the only story bit I cared for. Thing is, padding could be good, but bad padding is miserable. Yes, Matex. Like, I complained about the bug guy, right? If that was the only padding, like you went straight from the walk, oh, we have to stop this primal, back to then talking to the dragon, I wouldn't mind because, oh, cool, you got a cool boss fight. But it's the fact that you have to do the same thing 3 times in between. No 30-hour stream. No, Rizzy. Hi. You did miss a bunch, Rosie. I will upload this separately on my VOD channel about it. And secretly gets equally boring when I spent eons just listening, reading, getting 5 minutes of gameplay before. Yeah. That's Realm Reborn right there. But yeah. To me, that was the end of Heavensward. If there's more, which apparently there is, because the last thing I did was get the credits the second time, and I thought that must be it. Well, then crap. Because to me, that was the end, because it solved the one lingering story beat from the main campaign, the main story. So, well, right now, hold on, what is it? I have some people that haven't answered, but right now, it is 127 to 15 on playing FF14. So it looks like I'll be playing FF14. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone will come in and donate 100 subs the other way, but listen, I don't know about Dawn Trail, all right? Oh, Rosie, you missed me saying that. You missed, to summarize, Rosie, I did not care about him. I didn't even remember who he was. So, unfortunate. But hey, I'm going back. I guess I'm going back. Like I said, anyone can still, oh my God, where is it? There it is. I'm missing a lot of people. Yeah. Let's just fish. Yes. I don't know why I love the crafting gathering. It's you walk up to something, you press a couple buttons, and you gift that. And that's it. Who gifted 100? No one, Jake. Waba gave 50, and now he's ahead of you in the total gift subs. But that's the biggest bomb I've gotten. The filler turned off the story, then being lost. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that's really what summarizes it, is Heavensward is a good story that has so much filler that I stopped caring about the story. All right, I will do the first half of that sentence, Jazz. I will not play Mahjong. I don't understand it. Crafters Gatherers is still 0 before Fisher. Well, Azel, you have no soul. They can't get us away from the tables. Oh my God. Hold on. I can't hear anything. My headset just died. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I was ranting for so long, my headset went to sleep because I don't have game audio or anything playing then. Fair warning, when you start back up, it's filler. Okay. One thing I did like, I'll talk about the side content. I didn't write anything up about the side content. I actually kind of enjoyed the is it Alexander? Forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and 1 foot forward. That one. I liked those boss fights and those dungeons. They were very short and sweet. It was right into the bosses, and I did them, and it was great. I really enjoyed. It took me, I had to sit in queue for 2.5 hours. I did a 16-person raid where the first fight is you could get knocked off the edge and everyone dies. And it was really fun. And I think you fight like an evil doll at the end, and vampire doll or something. That was kind of fun. Skate. Yeah, I sat in queue for 2 hours for that. That's how long it took for the game to find me, people. Yeah, 24 man, that one. I had a lot of fun with that one. I had a lot of fun with Alexander. I'm dry again. Let me drink. Oh, that's good tea. What else? I think there was a quest chain with some sky pirates I didn't really care about. Oh, what else did I think that's all I kind of did. Yeah. I think that's all I did in the side content. No, there was this one area where you could do crafting quests. I started doing that, but my crafting was so high that I wasn't getting the bonus experience from it because I was already level 90. Sky Pirates were related? Ah, okay. The Firmament, yes. That. Where, like, they would send, like, they were even gathering, like, now, I guess kind of like raids, where they'd send you to an area and do that. Did I have an apartment? I had never had housing. So, I was in a guild that had housing, but I don't understand it. I have glamour. I'm a frog. I'm a blue frog. Because it's as close to a mudkip as I'm going to get. I also have Power Ranger outfit, but that's neither here nor there. Azel, that's like 4 expansions away. So, who knows? Oh, boy. Okay. Anyone have any questions about my Heavensward experience before I call this to a wrap? I have been ranting for roughly 45 minutes. Oh my God, that is way longer than I thought it would be. If you grind the crafting firm, you can get a T-Rex minion and a pterodactyl mount. Ooh, nice. Oh, you agree with everything you said? And listen, if you're sitting here and you disagree with what I've said, that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and you might be okay with the filler that I wasn't. You might like Hogbert and his death, but that was it. Did I play this all alone? Were the friends there with you? I had some friends join me sometimes during like the main raids, but that was about it. Uh, oh, you think Hogbert's great, Rosie? I called him Hog Farter at some point. Oh, it was great. I don't know people's names. Okay, let me catch up on questions. When Swambo's white emote, I don't know how I would do that. My face doesn't naturally stretch like that. But if someone could find me that, I have the slots now. You think all the padding that was there could still be in the expansion if it was handled better in the story? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because so many of it was the same. You get to a place, you have to do 3 filler quests and then move on. Or you get to like the main reason you were doing them. Maybe if you split those up, but there's so much padding, Matt Tax. The only time that there is not padding is like at the start when it's world building, which you could call padding if you don't care about the world. Oh, um, I'm just I noticed it especially with the Moogles. The Moogles is what made me really groan and actually hate the game. I think Pauser actually laughed at me during it because he knew what was coming, or she knew what was coming. Sorry. Maybe FF14 would be fun with the right people, but like, what's gonna happen? You guys just standing around while I do a cutscene because you've already seen it? Uh I don't know. I don't know. What percentage of gameplay would you consider important to the experience? I would say, God, how much? I would say you could cut out 40 to 50% of Heavensward and not lose any real story. Yes, we'll be dancing around you or driving in our cars right after a beer. Are you gonna be like Pauser and make me sit in the back seat because I'm too short to sit in the front seat? Because that was funny. I'm a Lalafell. It's fine. It's fine. Uh. Oh, I should show off my FF14 character. I could do that. I think you can look it up, right? What your character looks like. Hold on. FF14. How do I do that? Lodestone, is that it? I did meet the Warriors of Darkness. They showed up, they killed that primal I killed, and that was kind of all I remember about them. They haven't done anything yet. I assumed it's something coming up in the next expansion. Bad game can be fun with friends. Rift story is cool, but a boring game being carried by friends, just ignoring the game and just hanging with friends. You're not wrong. Ooh, hey, it's my character. Hold on. How do I look at what my actual character looks like? Hold on. I'm in the lodestone. I remember Esme did it one time. How do I do this? How do I do this? It's Swalmo is my name in the game. Sophie always sits behind you. I think the major problem with FF14 is it's not a great game for people with ADHD because so many people enjoy the gameplay and story, but I can't sit still. You get bored. Yeah, I could say that. Like, the thing is, I cared about the story at times. I was interested in negotiating with the dragons, and it kept stopping. Yes, hold on. I can put my full name. It is the name I always go by if something forces me to use a first and last name. Oh my god, I can't type. Swamosington. I'm on Seraph also. Swamosington. You're not invested in the stories. Like, I pushed through it because I kept thinking there's gotta be something. There's gotta be something in there, and there just wasn't. Anyways, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching almost 50 minutes at this point of my rant. Jesus Christ. If I'm gonna edit this, which I'm probably gonna have to, I'll edit in a photo of my character if I figure out how to get it. Otherwise, bye YouTube. Everyone say bye to YouTube. Bye YouTube. Yeah.